Well, Labor Day is just a week away, and when that time of the year hits, even though it's 100 degrees out here in California, I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for cooler weather to come, and so I'm thinking soup. So today we're going to be making a delicious southwestern taco soup. You're going to love this. I'm making it out of ingredients I already have in my refrigerator, so let's get cooking. So I may have told you in a previous video, I like to cook up large amounts of taco flavored turkey or ground beef or what have you. I cut them into individual servings and I freeze them. Well, I had actually taken a couple of these out and I was thinking of making some kind of a taco salad, but soup just won over today, so we're going to be making a taco soup. To make it even easier, I'm going to be doing this all in my crock pot. Taco flavored turkey. Now I cook up my turkey, I add bell peppers, and I have a whole onion in there, and I'm just going to drop that into my crock pot. Just like that. I thawed this in the refrigerator last night, so it's all ready to go. Just kind of break it apart. Just like this. Oh, it smells so good. And all I do is cook up the turkey or ground beef. This is ground turkey. And I add a packet of taco seasoning along with my onions and peppers, whatever kind of peppers you like. And then I just, let it cool down, cut it into squares, and then I just freeze it. So we're also going to be adding some cabbage to our soup. So I've got a head of cabbage here that really needs to be used up. We're going to cut up about a half of a head of cabbage. Now I think cabbage adds that perfect flavor to soup. So I'm just going to chop this into slices. Now you make them as thick or as thin as you like. I do them about 1/4 of an inch. And then I just cut them, again, a couple times. Nothing special with this. Just throw them in with your soup, right into the crock pot. The next thing I'm going to add is a sweet potato. So I've got a beautiful sweet potato here. I'm going to go ahead, I've already washed it. So all I'm going to do is peel this sweet potato. I like these big fat sweet potatoes. So this is actually considered a yam, but I always call it a sweet potato. All right, let me give this a quick wash. Throw all these pieces away. I'm not composting right now. I'm in the apartment. I don't really have any type of garden going on. The people who bought our house back in, I think it was June, they're getting to enjoy all my goodies. So we're just going to cut this sweet potato into chunks. I found the easiest way to do it is just cut it in half. And then I just kind of hold the other end of my knife because this is always kind of hard to get through a sweet potato. I don't want my knife getting away from me. Do the same thing to this. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we have these nice little pieces we can just lay flat and they won't be so hard to cut. And I just cut them into chunks. I love sweet potatoes, and the softer they get, the better. So some people might put these in a little bit later into their soup. I put mine in pretty early because I want it more of a creamy soup. And the sweet potato just comes out so good with the taco flavor. If you've never had it, you need to try this soup. You're gonna love it. Well, I love it. I hope you would love it, but we all have different tastes. The thing I really like about soup is that I can make this up and I'll have soup for a couple of days. So I'll be able to enjoy this for some lunches, for some different things, even soup and salad, whatever it is I'm making, and I can refreeze this into little containers, and then I'm going to have soup for, you know, a later date. Now, not everybody's a jalapeno fan, I get it, but I'm going to add a little bit of just one little jalapeno. Now, I do take out my seeds because I never really know how hot my jalapenos are going to be. And I don't have any gloves. I usually like wearing gloves with this. I'm just going to try to be careful I don't touch these seeds. Now I'm just going to cut these up into little tiny pieces. I'm going to throw that into my soup. So next I'm going to add an onion. Now I know I already put onion and pepper into my taco seasoning, but I want this to be super flavorful. And other than the taco seasoning, I'm not going to add a lot of stuff to this. I want this to just be really, really, really flavored with the taco and the, you know, the different seasonings from what you'd expect from like a Southwest or kind of a taco soup. That is one strong onion. Holy cow. Good thing I didn't wear any mascara today. Woo! I'm gonna stir that up. Let's give that, put those onions down at the bottom, please. All right, so to this soup, all I'm gonna add is a little bit of water. I want it more like a stew than a soup. So I want the water to just barely come up to the vegetables. All right, so I'm going to add some salt-free seasoning to this, about maybe a half a teaspoon, not too much. Then I'm also going to be adding some chopped onion. Now these are a little different. They've been dehydrated and they just add a little different flavor to your soup. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of pepper, maybe half a teaspoon. All right, let's give that a stir. I want you to see where the water level is. It's just barely up to the vegetables. This is going to be more of like a taco vegetable stew than it is a soup. I mean, it's going to be a soup, obviously, but all right. So this is going to be so good. These are just so delicious. I love all this. All right, so let's go ahead and plug this in and get this started. So I've actually got aroma tomato left in my refrigerator, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the soup too. It's not very much more, but you know, tomatoes just add that really great flavor and texture to a soup. And I love Roma tomatoes because they do kind of keep their texture a little bit better, even in a soup, than a regular tomato. Okay, all done. We're gonna let our soup go. Soup a little stir again, and I've got this on low. I'm going to cook it all day long. Now, depending on how the sweet potatoes are cooking, I may actually I'm going to start a couple hours. I'm going to do it at high, and then I'm going to turn it down. I think that's a better solution. All right, I'm just going to let the crock pot do all the work. Well, this soup was so delicious. I actually had a bowl of it, but I'm going to have another bowl because it was really good. And I think it'll keep really good in the freezer. Let me show you how it came out. Now, it is a little bit spicy because of the jalapeno, so if you're not somebody that likes much spice, you may consider leaving it out. I like it, so we're going to leave it in. But anyway, as you can see, it's mainly vegetables. There's not a lot of broth. This is actually the perfect fall soup. I know it's not quite fall yet, but it will be in just a few weeks. So give this soup a try. It is really delicious. I can't try it for you again because it's so hot. I have to let it cool a few minutes. So anyway, thanks for watching today. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring that bell for future notifications, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.